What's going on? It's been a long time coming. I know y'all probably seen a little bit of a drop off in Fatal Fury content from me, and I wanted to kind of just, and I've been seeing a lot. My bad. I've been seeing a lot of discourse about is Fatal Fury good or not, and the Steam charts, the blah 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 blah, blah and all that type of jazz, right? So I just want to kind of put my own words out there and how I currently feel about Fatal Fury and its release and its stayed after the honeymoon phase is over, and how do I feel about it, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna put some things that I don't like and the things that I do like, and I'll give it props for what the things that it deserves to be given props for. But also, there's always nothing good without the bad. So I'm going to be going over things that I, keyword me here, personally dislike about this game. Once again, this is based off of opinion. I'm not going to be going over the random shit that most people bring up when they bring up that this game is bad, because I don't feel like it's indicative of the game. Like one of them was like localized pricing, and I'm just like, I can't put my own hat into that ring because I don't know how much it affects people. But I also believe that if you are truly interested in a game, you will buy it no matter the price, which is the reason why most companies can just up the prices of their fucking game. And sure, we're gonna be like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna fund this, but then if we really are interested in it, we will, right? Anyway, going on. So also, let me preface this by saying I have been playing this. I've played both the betas. I have played on PC and on console, and I think together I have a little bit over 100 hours. But now I think on PC alone I have like 95 hours. So I think I'm on my way to like 200 hours, counting on console too. But yeah, so I just wanted to go off and tell you my feelings, and after the honeymoon phase, like, how does this game go? So first things first, I want to get this out of the way. Base UI, a lot of people complain about this screen or how it feels outdated. I don't care about that. It doesn't affect gameplay and how I go about my game. Also, I like this screen because it just reminds me of old GTAs, like GTA San Andreas and was that GTA 3? I forgot which one was with the Albanian dude. Is it Albanian or Russian? I don't know. Sorry. Either which way. It just reminds me of those old GTA games. So I do like this screen. It tickles my fancy. But but besides that, if it doesn't really affect gameplay, I don't care. I can get over it. So yeah, I'm going to go over things that I personally am going to start off with. I'm going to go back and forth, actually. I'm going to go back and forth for things that I like and things that I dislike. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into this. All right. So as you can see, the first place of my complaint in this complaint sandwich, this is probably going to be the longest part of this video also, is the training mode. If you know me, I like labbing. Labbing is my favorite thing overall about fighting games, because I like learning, and the things that can make me easily learn and go through and go back to a match, and I see that as overall important for any fighting game, is their lab. Their lab has to be efficient, it has to be quick, and the reason why it has to be efficient and it has to be quick is that nowadays you want to minimize the amount of times a casual player has to be in the lab. And a lot of people have beef with that, but I'm just saying you want to minimize this time and you want them to go in and just play. Why? Because how you get their foot in the door and get them wanting to lab more and wanting to understand more is by having them play more. The more you play, the more interest you have in the game. The more interest you have in the game, the more you want to get better. The more you want to get better, the more you have to lab. Therefore, you're going to be finding most of your answers in the lab or reviewing your gameplay and things like that. And especially in a game like this, which has a depth of like a lot of depth in its mechanics, you want to have the ease of use of labbing. And here is my first beef with the game. The labbing is very bare bones. Very bare bones. And by bare bones, I mean if we just go over into the settings of the lab. As you can see here, we have all the usual things. Restart, player slide, action, stand, guard type, guard timings, guard count, just in case you want to do a guard count specifically, counters, if you want to set it to what type of counter you want, throw tech on, recovery on, input history, attack data, virtual controller, and HUD. This is all here. This is good. This is things I like. I don't particularly like this menu. It feels cluttered to me to have all these things in this one part of this menu, but I honestly get it. I understand. But then we go on, right? We have the health settings for your characters and the SPGs and the power gauges. Cool. All right, got it. That's cool. This is where things tick me off. Keep in mind, I am judging this for the time that it has came out. This is currently 2025, right? It is currently the year of 2025. To me, this would have been acceptable if it came out around the time of Strive, because Strive also lacked a little bit of the, compared to now, it lacked the quality of life that, that is currently in labs. So like, for example, not having to actually manually input all of your shit into a recording slot and then have to play that recording slot and then tell the bot when to do it. That type of shit, you still didn't have to do in Strive. So having it here also kind of feels weird. It was just like they kind of just did it at the last second. It was like we were just going to put the input mode here and just like nothing. So if you're wondering what I mean, essentially when it comes to your recording slots, how recording slots work is as exactly as you said. You record the dummy to do whatever the hell you want the dummy to do, and it will do it. Of course, all fighting games nowadays have the recording slots, right? As a baseline. Those are usually if you want to do a specific thing or setup that you can't do with a pre-made recording. And by what do you mean by pre-made recording? So for example, in Street Fighter 6, Tekken 8, Uni 2, I have to specify Uni 2, Strive, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. I'm trying to think of anything else. Most of those games allow you to have a pre-made recording where you just go down that character's command list and you tell that bot to do exactly what to do. Why is that important? That's very important because there is something called a user fucking error that will always apply. Sometimes you're just not good on that character that you're trying to record something with, and you're not really trying to go through their whole entire command list to fucking find that move, that specific move that you want to recreate, go down the list, and then have to do that move on the command list on the recording, right? In those type of and other type of games, you just go down their move list, select that move that you want in that slot, and then have it played on the timing that you want it played. That's really it. In this game, you have to record. You have to record the move that you want to do, and then once you do it, the bot was going to do it, right? Of course, you have to know the move that you want to do in the specific sequence that you want to do. This is fine. Like I said, recording slots are very good and fine if you want to do a long sequence, right? Or a specific sequence. They're not good when you just want to quickly lab something. Because now you have to go down. You have to do a lot of needless work, all right? So it's whatever. Another thing I have issue with that, was fixed or added in as a quality of life with other games is down timings. As you can see here, if I go to record on a down timing, I want to do this as a reversal timing. I have to wait for this countdown to put and make sure that it says reversal on the whatever side of the screen the bot is going to be on. If it is not, then it's not a true fucking reversal. So now I'm sitting here playing the timing game, making sure I time this shit perfectly to say reversal on the bottom side of your screen. If it doesn't say reversal, you are still, that is user error, you fucked up, and it's not an actual reversal. I have seen this plenty of times when I've seen people trying to lab and, you know, trying to do certain things, and I'm like, yo, you do know that's not on the proper timing, right? And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, if you look at the bottom side of your screen, it doesn't say reversal. Meaning there could possibly be a gap and your setup is not actually going to fucking work. So like things like that is really annoying. And I'm saying this comparatively because most games, either with a preset button, will always make sure that whatever you do comes out on a reversal timing if you set it to do that. Or they will literally put you on the ground in a specific situation and tell you to input the move. And when you input the move, that's when the timer starts. Here, I'm playing a timing game where I have to perfectly input this exactly when I want it to, right? Of course, it is a little bit more lenient. Like, it's a little bit more lenient if you're saying like, oh, that's sounding really harsh, it's kind of ass. It's a bit more lenient because it uses the same timing as if you were on the ground. In case you didn't know, the buffer system, when you're on the ground, you could input a move and hold it before you wake up. And as long as you're holding the input, it will keep the move stored and it will do it at the earliest convenience. So you can do that here. The trick for this is you got to do it around the 20-second mark and just input it. Once you do that, as you can see, you'll get it on the automatic reversal timing. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but once again, for a game that is heavily marketed as a new gen fighter nowadays, and you know, wants to grab as many people as possible into the fighting game genre, it's gonna be hard to do when you don't have certain quality of life things in your fucking game, in a game that is very much legacy. So it you know what I mean. It feels like these type of things are just kind of weird. And not having that in a new gen fighting game is very weird. It's very off-putting too. All right. Well, welcome to part 2 of this my labbing rant. Is another thing. And this one I'm a little bit more forgiving on because this is still a new mechanic, a part of only newer fighting games. So I very much understand not having this mechanic in base right off of launch. Is there's no replay takeover. So we're in replay. We're in the replay system and there's no replay takeover. I'm fine with that. I am very much personally fine with no replay. But as you can also notice from this menu screen, there is no frame advantage. I mean, my bad. There is no frame meter. So if you want to just quickly go and see where your frames are, how much a frame is a move is without having to go through any of your practice, or if you just want to watch and see if, how, when, where you fucked up a combo or something, or fucked up your block string, or left a bit too big of a gap or something like that, it's not here. It will not give you that information. And there is no menu for that. As you can see from the bottom of the screen, right here, there is very much no menu for that. There's show HUD, show UI, skip forward, skip backwards, show inputs, pause, things like that. But there is nothing to show you frames. So to me personally, replay takeover isn't as useful as it is in any other new gen fighting game, because it doesn't even give you the base level information of like, oh, why didn't this work? Let me go see if I like fucked up the frame advantage on something. Nope. You don't get that. You have to go personally relab. You have to watch the situation in your replay if you want to go look at it. and relab that whole entire situation. And that's it. And you have to go for it set by set and watch the enemy's inputs, re-put that on the bot during the using the recording slot. And it's not very intuitive for a new gen fighter. Once again, I will keep saying that for a new generation fighter, not at least having a frame bar for your replays feels a bit weird for me. Another thing you'll notice, I think they patched it, but these words were very much overlapped. If anybody has ever seen, anybody has seen it before this patch today, I think it was a 1.1.7 patch. Their words on the bottom of the screen were overlapped, which just looked like a bunch of fucking clutter. I don't know if I have it in any of my other streams. I'll go back and see if I can go back to my streams and see if I went and used Replay Takeover to show you on the bottom of the screen the words were literally overlapping each other. And it was just, what the fuck? It was just a hot ass mess. And I'm like, bro, did someone like add this in? I think the last day of the last day before full release. Like, this shit is weird. But yeah, that is also a very big turn off for me in the labbing, because once again, I am very much a serial labber. I love labbing, and not having certain quality of lives in a new gen fighter definitely does hurt when I'm swapping over from like Tekken to here, or Street Fighter to here, or Grand Blue from here. Like, it's very weird. Or Uni from here. By the way, a lot of people like to give the excuse when I bring up like no replay takeover, the bare bones lab. Oh, but SNK is a smaller company, you know what I mean? It's not like a AAA title. Uni 2 has literally everything I just asked for in their lab. Uni 2 was the first new gen fighter to come out with Replay Takeover. Uni 2, if you don't know what Uni 2 is, Under Night In-Birth System Select 2, made by French Bread. Published by Arc System Works. French Bread and Kimone, which I think is like literally like a handful of fucking people that make that game. The same people that made Melty Blood. Have Replay Takeover. And all of the other quality of lives in their lab. So this game has no excuse to not have this game has no excuse to have these things. To not have these things. Like, it's just like, what the fuck? What are we doing? All right, welcome back. So, going into the things I like about this game. First and foremost, the gameplay. The gameplay in this game is, I would say, at its base level, very user-friendly. And by user-friendly, I meant more like casual-friendly. Because you can very much pick up this game, not know anything, and still mash buttons and have fun. And that is the base level of any fighting game, is how quickly, as a casual player, can you come into a game, pick it up, and press buttons and have fun. This game very much allows you to do that with its rev canceling systems and a lot of its other quality. It's other user-friendly, like the rev blow system and things like that. Of course, you know, it doesn't really have a modern input, but for a game that's probably like, not even probably, for a game that's literally a 5-button fighter at most, meaning you have your light punch, heavy punch, light kick, heavy kick, and then the rev button. At most, it's a 5-button fighter. So I don't really see a necessary component in having a modern input in a game that is quite literally 5 buttons. Like, if you were to have it be like Street Fighter, have it be like Street Fighter Modern, it'd be a 6-button fighter. Because now you have rev button, you have the rev button, and then you have the skill button, and then probably an auto combo button, and it would feel very weird for that. And for a game that base level already technically has an auto combo system, not as in like you press one button, but if you press a series of your of any of your
Can we
buttons, your
not
attack
have
buttons,
fucking
you
2
will
to 3
get
frames of rollback?
you will
Rounds
get
start
a
after
you will get
nice,
an automatic
smooth
combo,
gameplay.
and you can figure out. My bad. You can do an input at the end of that combo once you're comfortable enough, and you will get different inputs. So like having a modern input just feels kind of weird in this regard, because it's not button wise. It's not a intricate. It's not very intricate, right? And combo wise, it's quite literally do something that launches at base level. Once again, at base level, do something that launches into a special move, into a special move, into a special move, into a special move, and your combo. That's it. That's it. And this may be me giving more credit than credit is due for the average human being, but I'm pretty sure in 5 minutes you can learn how to do a special move into a special move into a special move into a special move. That's it. I'm pretty sure the average human being can sit down for 5 minutes, learn that, and then go into a match and then go do that. And that's good. At the intermediate level, there's a little bit more combat depth and depth overall with adding the breaks and the feints. So that's very good. I really like depth in my fighting games. If something is like layer 1 the whole entire fucking time, I'm going to hate it. If layer 1 is just most of the fighting game, then I'm definitely going to fucking hate it.
After practicing anti-airs,
so adding depth with breaks and feints actually is very interesting. It allows for a lot more combo expression and conversions off of certain things. So that's very cool. Of course, I play Don Juan, so it's not as applicable, except for like a certain counter hit situations. But it's still very cool feint wise. Break wise, we still have a whole bunch of breaks for Don Juan. And then at a advanced level, or like high intermediate to advanced level, I love the defensive mechanics. I am very much a defensive person. I play a lot slower and defensively, so having a plethora of defensive mechanics at my in my arsenal and at my disposal with the Just Defend and Hyper Defend makes for an overall better time for me, because it clicks with me immediately and I love it. My only issue with it is it becomes my bad.
I was gonna take that.
First, let me get into the good things. It makes for a very balanced game. You're probably like, oh, how is it balanced? Well, because no matter where you are on a tier list, no matter where your character is on a tier list, as long as you are able to take advantage of the defensive mechanics that the game has given you, you can win. No ifs, ands, or buts. You can win. This game very much is a game where no matter what, and no matter how bad you feel the matchup is, you can put that grind in and win. You can learn to just defend certain moves in certain timings and very much beat the living shit out of your opponent if they cannot adapt properly. You can learn to use Rev Guard to push block everyone away from you so you can take advantage of that spacing and win. You can easily learn to not easily, but you can learn to hyper defend certain block strings so you can punish those block strings and win. So it makes for a very balanced game where you don't feel like it's a slog and there isn't something that you can never deal with. There is always an option given to you, right? There is no like final go fuck yourself type of shit in this game, besides, you're in burnout and your opponent has fucking 0 rev gauge. So now he gets to crank up the rev on you and beat the living shit out of you and break your guard. But like even that, your opponent is still paying the price for doing that by cranking up his rev gauge. So now his combo is most likely going to be a little bit more limited. Getting right into this one. This one's a little bit of a harder topic because it's very hard to kind of explain because everybody has their own piece on this. Netcode and matchmaking. Matchmaking for me has been free. Like I've had no issues besides like on launch with matchmaking. Matchmaking is very fast, very quick. I pretty much get into a match. At most, I have to wait 1 minute, right? At most. But usually it's like Street Fighter 6 type shit where I sit down for like 2 seconds and boom, match, boom, match, boom, match. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Right? So that's very good. Matchmaking wise has been very inconsistent. And I will say inconsistent instead of bad, because I know a plethora of people who swear by the matchmaking in this game. But I am not one of those people. I have gotten a very, very mixed bag when it comes to matchmaking. I have gotten the laggiest of the laggiest. 10 rollback, 5 frame the fucking delay, and I've gotten very solid matches. And it's always a very mixed bag. But most of the time, I'm ending my stream on someone who is very laggy. Like I get too much of it, and especially at a level of play where this game demands you to just defend and hyper defend to save your fucking rev gauge or to live a lot of the fucking times. Having a laggy match is very much a turn off. Having to lose because the match was fucking laggy is very much a turn off, and it makes it hard for me to press that go back and play button, right? You know what I mean? It makes it very hard. And so it's just inconsistent. I would say the inconsistency lies from it not having a Wi-Fi indicator. It does not indicate if you have Wi-Fi. A decent amount of games also technically don't have this. By decent amount, I mean I think it's just Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising that doesn't have a Wi-Fi indicator, if I remember properly. You just have to guess. You have to look at the Wi-Fi. You have to look at their internet bar and see if it fluctuates or not. And even then, you get into a fucking match, and sometimes it's just like you're still eating 4 frames of rollback, but they're like on 30 ping, and you're like, what the fuck? So I can't say it's like 100% necessary, but just it is a good quality of life change that would need to be added, especially because it was brought to my attention that KOF 15 has a Wi-Fi indicator, but this game doesn't. So it's very, very weird in that aspect. At least add that. As of right now, as far as I know, they haven't added a Wi-Fi indicator. They haven't given the lab or anything else any quality of life changes that should have been added, that should have been getting added in general. But you know, it is what it is. Besides that, this game has been pretty good to me. Like I said, it's a very fun game. If you were planning on buying this game, or like you're questioning buying this game, it is a very fun game, and there is no, besides the things I have named, there's no real issues. But my bad. There's one other issue, the lobby making system, but I don't think we can do anything about that. I think we're stuck with that lobby making system. Like, if you want to play with your friends and you have to use the lobby or the room matchmaking system, that shit is. At least add, if you're gonna keep it that way, at least add a copy and paste system for the room code. It's just, oh Lord Jesus. Yeah. But besides that, how would I recommend this game? No. As of right now, if you have no interest in playing Fatal Fury, I cannot, out of the goodness of my heart, recommend you to go out and buy Fatal Fury. If you have an interest in this game at all, and you like something like this, then I would say, yes, go buy it. You're going to have fun. If you want something new and different from the current standard of fighting games, yes, try this game out. Have fun. But if you're going in here also just planning to have like a game like Street Fighter or a more structured game, don't come here. Don't come here. Don't pick up this game. This game is very much different from this. It has its fair share of degenerate shit. So if you're like, oh, I'm tired of like fucking overwhelming pressure, no. Because if you, like I said, if you don't learn to take advantage of the defensive mechanics in this game, you will get steamrolled by the offensive pressure in this game. Thoughts on this game? If you have your thoughts, go in here. Like I said, this is opinionated. Some people I've talked to them about these issues, and they're like, "Oh, that's perfectly fine, though." It's not. To me, it's not, but to them, it is. So it's like it's whatever. It's like what could be a turn off for me can in fact be more of a turn on for you. You know what I mean? So that's why I encourage those to like have your opinion out there. I'm not gonna shit on you in the comment section, but I would say keep an open mind and don't overly glaze the game. Give the game props where props is due. Shit on the game where you know it needs to be shit on. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's it for this video. Like I said, leave your thoughts in the comments. If you like the video, leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see any more content from me. Like I said, if there's a big balance patch in this game, I will let you guys know. I will probably do a balance patch read for this game. I'll still keep my Don Quan guide updated, but I probably for the foreseeable future not make any more like gameplay content for this game because I don't really have the motivation to keep playing this, especially with Elena and Fahkumram around the corner. That's it though. Y'all go out, play some games, and don't forget to go out there and go cause some motherfucking happy. Deuces.